I am Loki, god of mischief and the king of Asgard. Your powers are mine! Bring on the chaos. Get in there.
Good morning, Marvel Rival nerds. If you've watched my Marvel Rival stock market video, you'd know that Loki currently has the lowest stock value in the game. But I feel he's one change away from being right back into the meta, making him the ultimate penny stock to invest in. So we're going to deep dive into some of the reasons to start playing Loki right now. First and foremost, let's talk about Loki's role in the Marvel Rivals Grand Finals tournament. As most of you know, Triple Support has been the defining composition that the pros play to get an edge on the competition, and Loki played a pretty big role in the Grand Finals as opposed to the Marvel Rivals Ignite regional group stages. The biggest reason for this is the recent nerf to Ultron, as well as the permabans to the usual tertiary strategists like Mantis, Adam, and Jeff. Loki was chosen 18% of the time and could even adapt to the 2 healer setups. Loki also saw a good amount of bans. In fact, he was 7th place, above the likes of Psylocke and Star-Lord in total ban rate. This usually occurred whenever Mantis was saved, in order to avoid their insane team-up. Now, I couldn't ask for a better segue to talk about reason number 2 to play Loki. That would be his broken team-up with Mantis. Mantis has consistently had a great win rate in comp due to the abundant amount of utility that she provides. Adding Loki to the mix gives the team even more damage boost coming from Loki's Regeneration Domain, and a 30% larger range on each rune circle, making an already insane cooldown even better. Some teams in the Grand Finals were able to get away with both Mantis and Loki and play a 2-2-2 composition with these two as the backline. This resulted in an almost 78% win rate, where the team with the Mantis-Loki team-up won 14 out of 18 games. On to reason number 3, that being his Regeneration Domain that we just talked about. With or without Mantis, this ability is on par, if not head and shoulders above, most of the ultimates in the game. It provides an area of complete invulnerability and converts incoming damage into healing. When used correctly, this is a life-saving ability for both you and your team, completely negating ultimates like Pure Chaos, Dance of the Butterfly, Meteor M, and much more. Now, looking at his stock price since Season 0, Loki has never been wildly popular except for at the highest ranks. However, every time Loki saw some traction, he was hit with nerf after nerf. But he still saw a rise in his stock as more and more people became comfortable with him. Loki was able to reach a peak of almost $18 before he was completely gutted by netties. In Season 4, they reduced his damage and healing output without any adjustment to his ultimate charge. This means he's getting his ultimate much less often than he's used to, and the quality of life nerf to his ultimate meant getting much less value out of the transformed state. Finally, let's look at all the balance adjustments that Loki has seen since the game's release. Loki has only received 1 buff in the game's history, being 2 additional projectiles for his primary fire, and NetEase has a history of buffing a recently nerfed hero that they feel the nerfs were a bit too heavy-handed. For example, Bucky received buff after buff following his hook and ultimate nerf in Season 2. Strange saw multiple smaller buffs following the damage nerf to his primary and Maelstrom of Madness, and even Star-Lord saw a huge buff to his ultimate after nerfing his Blaster Barrage. So I expect a few small buffs coming Loki's way in the seasons to come, as well as a few nerfs to the oppressive strategist options currently available. I'm looking at you, Jeff. With all that said, thank you so much for watching. This has been Judgment Monk. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, as more Rivals content is sure to come.